February 5, 2021, Friday. It's another weekend. Happy weekend to all of you. I'm Cito Beltran, your host, and you are watching Agenda via Signal TV channels 8 and 250, and on Facebook, it would be facebook.com/OneNewsPH, and on YouTube, just put in One News PH. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Medyo kinakapos ako ng hininga, and for the past few days, medyo bahing ako ng bahing, sinisipon, etc. And my wife casually mentioned a lot of people seem to have an allergy problem this past few weeks. So, alam niyo po yung nadidinig nating hay fever, nadidinig nating, oh, it's hay fever or allergy season again. Parang sa aremika lang yun, di ba? Kumbaga, doon sa imported, doon sa mga bansang abroad. Pero, I don't know if it's the pollution, I don't know if it's because sa dami niyong naging plantito at plantita, nagkakaroon na rin tayo ng pollen problem dito sa Metro Manila. Hindi yung pollen na lalaglag, pollen, yung doon sa halaman ba, baka ganun nga, no? But in any case, I've had to resort to using just a half a tablet of an antihistamine just to kind of calm things down. But anyway, before we get on with the program, I just want to encourage all of you to be grateful. I hope you can think of a few things. Sana maaalala nyo, maisip nyo, isa, dalawa, tatlong bagay o maraming bagay, many things that you are grateful for just this week. Okay? Kasi marami po sa atin, parang pag nakuha yung gusto natin, we get what we want, we just move on. And we are not thankful. Someone cooks us a really nice dinner, like your wife or your maid or your cook. Hindi natin na-express yung appreciation kasi hindi, sinuweldohan naman natin eh. No, let us express our gratitude, our appreciation to others, and above all to God. And then, I really cannot move on with the program without telling you this, okay? What lesson have you learned from the past week? Ako po, madaling araw, biglang may naalala akong sitwasyon. I don't know, maybe it was the Holy Spirit that reminded me. And basically, the lesson is, be careful of the people you associate with. Listen intently to their dialogue, to their conversation. Kasi meron nga pong sinasabi, if you know someone na makwento tungkol sa problema ng ibang tao, if you know someone who tattletales or talks about other people's problems or shortcomings, chances are that person will also talk about your problems or your shortcomings to other people. So, medyo sabi ko, o nga, no? Totoo yun. And so, I reflected on who I have been speaking with, talking with, and I realized that may mga ganun nga, and we have to be careful. But I also want to encourage you, kung ito naman ay mga kakilala nyo, close na kayo, medyo may pinagsamahan na, if you feel that you have a right or a responsibility, then perhaps you would be doing that person a favor by pulling them to the side, telling them their potential, telling them the good things they've done, and then at the same time telling them, alam mo, partner, may problema tayo. Or there is one thing that is getting in your way or could get you into trouble. And it is your lack of control of sharing all of these observations you have, which are primarily negative. Okay, so yun lang po, no? Paalala lang sa inyo. And okay, moving on today, who will our guests be? They are Aldrin Pelicano, founder of Manila Moves. Hindi po ito tungkol sa City of Manila, kundi paano ba tayo makakagalaw dito sa Metro Manila at particular yung mobility in Metro Manila. And pag-uusapan namin siguro ay matutuon dito sa bike lanes. Because a few days ago, that was in the news. There were critics of government. Well, hindi political critics, ano? May mga taong pumuna na parang, hey, what's happening with those bike lanes? We were talking so much about them when there were no other options. And it seems that it has taken forever. And I just want to add to that, no? Medyo, hindi lang po bisikleta. The other day, I also pointed out that, at the height of the COVID-19 crisis, everyone was talking about hospitals are clogged, hospitals are full to the rafters, hospitals have to shut down, we need to have a medical holiday. Pero ang tanong, may nadagdag na ba tayong hospital in 1 year? Sinabi ko na ito, I mentioned this. Have we added on to our array of public hospitals? Have we expanded the heart center, the lung center, the kidney center, ano pang center? People talk about government having so much land, there being money, but no one seems to have focused on adding more hospitals so that we have more capacity. Kasi sinasabi ni Undersecretary Rosario Vergere the other day na hindi lang vaccine. The decision to open up and allow people to go out is not dependent solely on the vaccine or availability of the vaccine. It will still also be about hospital beds and number of cases. But until we are all really immunized and wala ng COVID-19, ano? But the thing is, paano ma-improve kung wala namang dinadagdag? Okay, so it's a vicious circle, but we really need to do something about it. Then after we speak with Aldrin Pelicano, founder of Manila Moves, we will interview Mr. Neil Garcia Laas, Chief Executive Officer of Go Shopping Philippines. Medyo parang pinaghalo yung Togo at saka Shopee. Anyway, it's apparently a new company patterned like Shopee and Lazada. Now, ang hindi ko lang kasi alam ko yung Lazada, medyo international yon. Yung Shopee, bahala na kayo. Parang feeling ko parang China, pero nag-localize. Now, let's find out what Go Shopping is all about, or Go Shopping Philippines is all about. And we will just inquire. We are not necessarily, giving an endorsement kasi bawal po yun sa mga anchors, pero at least in our part of the woods. But we will give them space to at least explain what Go Shopping Philippines is all about and how it will benefit our viewers. In any case, the time is 8:09. And let's now take a look at the front page of the Philippine Star. Around 44 million vaccine shots are expected to arrive in the Philippines this year, says the World Health Organization. Over 9 million of these will be here by March or April. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III assures the public that no vaccine will be put to waste. Okay, question. Okay, 44 million. Tayo, ang ating population ay tumatakbo ng 100 to 105 million. Sabihin na natin, 30% of that are children and seniorly adults. Kakasya na ba yan? Yun ang problema natin. So, wag po kayong masyadong, kumbaga, you are so optimistic. Ay, wala na, after this year, okay na yan. Medyo careful kasi hindi pa rin po garantisado yan. Although, I don't want to be a prophet of doom. I'm just saying that, that's only 44 million. We're gonna need at least 30 million in the following year, if not another 40 million, just to get the, sabi nga nila, yung herd immunity kuno. Okay. The Catholic Church or Catholic Church officials are seeking the expanded capacity for its activities. This is after last month's Black Nazarene gathering where it did not seem to cause a surge in COVID-19 cases. Okay. Yan po yung very interesting nga naman, Kung totoo, kung accurate yung sinasabi ng mga Catholic Church officials, yun nga yung translasyon, sabi nga nila, yung translasyon o yung Black Nazarene celebration, nagkadikit-dikit nga yung mga tao in many places and people were saying, it was a violation of social distancing, blah, blah, blah. Pero ang tanong, totoo bang walang naging surge from the Black Nazarene? So maybe Team Agenda, we can just get information kahit na by phone from the Okta group or from the DOH. Is this accurate? Kasi ito po ang mahirap dito, Yun, parang observation lang. But where is the science? Because here in the Philippines, that's our problem. Nauuna po yung opinion, yung observation, yung kwento, but we are never really sure unless we have scientific assessment, observation, or data. Madali lang naman. I-check natin. After translasyon, the following, after translasyon, the following month, ano ba nangyari doon sa mga hospital within Metro Manila? Nagtaasan ba o hindi? Because if the Catholic Church officials are correct, I mean, masses and the likes, pabinyag, etc., pakasal, hindi naman po yan dikit-dikitan Medyo nadidistansya. But, as I pointed out, and I myself have felt that, okay? At one point, our church in Lipa, Victory Christian Fellowship, under Every Nation, announced that they would now be live services, physical services. So sabi ko, New Year to po, New Year. I said, hey, game, let's go. Finally, I want to start the year going to church and praising the Lord. Pagdating, tawag ko dun sa pastor na kaibigan ko, si Pastor Ricky Bistan, sabi niya, Kuya, sorry, hindi ka pwede. You are in that category that's not allowed to be inside the church. Parang, here's the irony, Hindi ko naman nila lahat, for all churches, okay? Generationally speaking, most of us older people have seen the light, have repented from our sins, and want to spend more time in church, praising God, reading the Bible, and preparing ourselves for the next journey. Yung mga bata-bata, yung mga mga 18 and above, na pinapayagan ninyo pumunta sa church, karamihan dyan, mas puyat. Karamihan dyan, mga walang ginawa kung hindi mag-video game all night. And then, kami na gustong magdasal ng mataimtim. Oh yes, I agree. There are online services, etc. I do so much of it. But here's the thing. From time to time, you just want to be in the company of fellow believers. You just want to be in the sanctity of an area that you have mentally, historically, and socially associated as a house of God. Okay, so in other news, President Rodrigo Duterte has ordered the agriculture and trade departments to hunt down smugglers, profiteers, and hoarders of food, commodities, blah, 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 blah. Kasi yan na po ang problema All talk, no show, di ba? Kahapon, napanood ko nga yung balita sabi doon sa balita, ini-interview, parang pinagtanggol pa ngayon yung mga biyahero. Na sinasabi ng biyahero, kasi kami ang tumutulong sa ekonomiya, kami yung namimili, kami yung naglilinis, nagsasakay sa truck, pagkatas nagpapasweldo, pagkatas nagbabayad sa katayan, sa ganito, sa ganon, sa ganon. Ang kinikita lang namin, 5 piso. Loko-loko. Sorry. I'm not gonna put up with that kind of dialogue. Kasi alam niyo po, I have personal experience. I know, I go around the country. Binabarat po yung mga backyard hog racer, yung mga biyahero, yung mga consolidator. There may be a few legitimate consolidators. Pero by and large, those who go bahay-bahay, barangay-barangay, essentially fool, scare, falsely inform the backyard farmers and hog raisers na, oy, nako, mahirap magbiyahe ngayon, ang hinaharang, ganito kaya, nako, may ASF na sa kabilang barangay, magbenta na kayo, etc. Baratan blues po. Hanggang sa nabuisit na yung maraming magbababoy, ay wag na, dito na lang tayo sa barangay magbenta. And then now, pag nagiging issue, binabaliktad pa ngayon ang kwento. And I just really wish that the president would take a personal, take this issue of, abuses personally. Gawin nyo na personalan, Mr. President, kasi dekada nang niloloko yung mga maliliit na magbababoy at magmamanok. Hindi natin po pinag-uusapan yung large farms, okay? In any case, let's move on. So, magkakahulihan na. Ang tanong, sino huhulihin? Yung smuggler nga lang lantaran. Mabuti napalitan na yung head ng BAI. Ang tanong, yung doon ba sa smuggling, the welcome port. The welcome port for smugglers. Doon ba sa customs, natigil yung mga technical smuggling na yan? Nako po. Alam ng lahat pero hindi nahuhuli. In any case, the Land Transportation Office says it will not yet suspend its new inspection system, which includes the controversial Private Motor Vehicle Centers or PMVIC. Kasi tinanong yata ni Senator Grace po, kung mga senador doon, Secretary Ed Galvante, wala ba kayong balak itigil to? Siyempre sasabihin ni Asek Galvante, wala po, kasi ito lang po ang paraan para matesting namin. It is above his pay grade, Madam Senator. Huwag niyong tanungin yung implementor. Trabaho ng LTO magpatupad. Okay? Desisyon ng DOTR kung papatuloy yung pagpapatupad o hindi ipapatupad. Huwag niyo pong ilagay doon kay Asek Galvante kasi parang pinag-iba ninyo yung sabungan at tupada. Ayan na po. Okay, let's go. And Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, Liberal Party President, says LP is considering Vice President Leni Robredo as its presidential candidate for 2022. Robredo has yet to decide or announce if she will indeed run for higher office. Marami po yan makikita ninyo, whether it's Leni Robredo, Sara Duterte, Ping Lacson, sino pa ba? Sama na natin si Ramon Ang, sama na natin yang si Mike Defensor. Marami dyan makikita ninyo sasabihin, wala akong plano, hindi ko pa alam. Kasi nahawa sila doon sa isang mama na 6 na buwan, binitin-bitin ng buong Pilipinas, kung ano-ano ang lumalabas, kung ano-ano ang kwento, tapos kalabas-labasan, tatakbo rin palang presidente. Ay, ewan, nagkahawa-hawanan na, not sure. Okay, not interested. Anyway, pasensya na po kayo. Lumilikot na naman yung alimango dun sa utak ko. Let's move on to our interviews. The time is 8:19 in the morning. It's a Friday, February 5, 2021. On the program is Aldrin Pelicano, founder of Manila Moves, an active transport advocacy group. He is also an urban planner and program manager at Cardno International Development. Aldrin, konting ayos na lang, pwede ka nang lumabas sa pelikula. May kamera ka, Aldrin
Good morning, Sir Cito.
Okay, Aldrin, the other day, there were comments and there was a news item that was essentially focusing on the criticisms hurled at the delay, the slow pace of building the Metro Manila bike lanes. Ano ba sa palagay mo ang totoong sitwasyon? Kasi medyo yung iba, bumalik ako nung Monday ba yun? O Wednesday. Basta, nakita ko doon sa EDSA, ang dami nagbibisikleta. Kanya lang, hindi protected.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, meron pa ako nakita yung scooter, yung standing. Sabi ko, anak ng ewan, ano ba naman to? Baka masagasaan ko pa ito, mapisat itong babaeng to. Reaction please, Aldrin.
Yes, Cito. That statement was issued by the Move as One coalition, and bahagi ako ng coalition na ito. We at Manila Moves is just one of the many organizations, individuals, groups that comprise the Move as One coalition, and we issued this statement calling for government to implement the bike lane provision, the building of bike lane network in Metro Manila as part of the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act. Alam mo, Sito, back in September when the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act was passed, it provided explicitly 814 million pesos to build 306 kilometers of protected bike lanes in Metro Manila. So we are asking government through this statement that gawin nyo na, simulan nyo na ang bike lane network for Metro Manila, because this will bring about really good impact, positive impact sa majority ng commuters sa ating region.
Okay, good that you mentioned. Alam mo, dyan ako natutuwa sa trabaho ko, Aldrin eh. Kasi nagkakabistuhan. Merong 804 million? Baga, tama ba yung
Yes.
pagkadinig ko?
Yes.
804 million.
814.
For 814 million pesos, ang tinabi was dedicated for the construction of how many kilometers of bike lanes?
The 814 would cover Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, and Metro Davao. But
Okay.
Zooming in Metro Manila, the law has explicitly mentioned 306 kilometers of protected bike lanes throughout Metro Manila.
Okay, wait a minute. Kasi yung Pasig, nagsariling sikap na kami dito eh. Yung aming beloved Mayor Vico Soto na pwedeng maging katande mo sa isang entertainment program. Pareho kayong mga napapagkamalang K-pop sa itsura. Binibiro lang kita. Friday naman, pwede tayo magbiro. No? But anyway, Pasig, we have sariling sikap has built its own bike lane. San Juan has built its own bike lanes, and Quezon City has built some, if not many, major bike lanes. So kahabaan yata ng Commonwealth Avenue.
Yep.
Itong 804 million, saan ito? Sa EDSA primarily? Because EDSA is about what? 20 kilometers going and coming. So that's 40 kilometers already.
Well, just to quickly correct what I mentioned, Chito, no, Cito, the 814 million is for just NCR alone. The law provides that it has allocated or earmarked 1.1 billion pesos to create metropolitan bike lanes. So again, 814 for Metro Manila alone, 150 million for Metro Cebu, and 150 million for Metro Davao. And yung binanggit mong mga bike lanes naman sa San Juan at sa Pasig, these were built on local roads where the local government units manage these particular roads. And ito yung sinasabi namin, we recognize, we really appreciate, and we applaud all these local government units na nagsariling sikap na they took the initiative of protecting our commuters by building these bike lanes. And now, what we're asking is for MMDA, for DOTR, for DPWH to start building the 814 million worth of bike lanes sa ating national roads naman. EDSA, C4, C5, C6, and the rest of the radial roads.
Ang tanong ko, Aldrin, has your group or the coalition heard of anyone being appointed by the Office of the President or by the IATF or by Congress as the bike road czar? Kasi alam mo, ito ang reality eh. Dito sa Pilipinas, pag hindi yata nag-appoint si Presidente ng czar or someone in charge, nothing happens. Kumbaga, no, yung pera, baka magising tayo, gagamitin na sa kampanya, pampagawa ng kalsada ng isang congressman na malapit sa isang beach resort or something, no? O kaya papagawa ng kalsada papunta sa kanyang farm. Ang tanong ko, meron na bang na-appoint para dito sa bike lane na management na ito?
Wala kaming narinig na specific person to spearhead this building of bike lanes sa mga metropolitan areas sa buong bansa. But what we know and what we really recognize with government is that they have created an interagency technical working group on active transport. And this is composed of DOH, DILG, DOTR, and DPWH. And these four national agencies have been really active. We were able to engage with them since the start of the pandemic, and when they organized itong technical working group back in August. We really applaud their efforts, because individually, as separate agencies, they have released their own policy guidance on biking and walking. Kaya, for example, like the LG released a memo circular number 2020-100, providing LGUs all guidelines in establishing network of bike lanes, at ito yung sinusundan ng Pasig, San Juan, and the rest of the LGUs in terms of building network of cycling paths. And then DOH, meron siyang nirelease na local health system playbook on active transport. And then DOTR, meron din siyang nirelease na Department Order 2020-14, providing guidelines on biking. And then lastly, and really good, is yung DPWH. For the longest time, they finally released a guidelines on the design of bicycle facilities. So, etong apat na to, na ahensya, we recognize their efforts, lahat history making. But now, we need to urge MMDA to help us and the interagency technical working group to finally start the construction of the bike lane network provided under Bayanihan 2 law.
Okay, may nakausap na ba kayo? Have you actually discussed or consulted with any of these officials? And has anybody explained what the plan is? What is the timeline? Or why the program seems to have gotten stuck?
We have been in close contact with the four agencies. And we've been trying to set an appointment with MMDA Chair Ben Horabalos, who has recently joined the agency. So we're giving him time, and we actually wrote to him already, and we're just waiting for his feedback. And hopefully he will have time to talk to us in behalf of the millions of commuters, not only working, residing in Metro Manila, but also those yung mga mula sa karatig probinsya natin, di ba? Because many of our workers do not necessarily live in Metro Manila, but come from Bulacan, from Rizal, from Cavite. So hopefully, when we heard that Chairman Avalos would listen to the mayors of Metro Manila as his bosses, sana mapaalalahanan siya na the real bosses here are the more than 80% of commuters in Metro Manila that don't own a car, that they don't drive around using a car, but rely on our limited public transport and now active transport, walking and cycling. How many people have shifted to cycling from the start of the pandemic? Thousands and thousands of Filipinos in Metro Manila decided to walk kilometers and kilometers, di ba? Nung isinara yung MRT and then the buses. But now that we are slowly opening up the economy, hopefully government will realize and accept that this is our new reality. This is the way to build a better normal. That active transport cannot be pushed aside sa gilid lang. You need to plan it properly and start it now. Because this should have been built months back.
So sa madaling salita, tayo lang ang nag-uusap. Kasi, no, I mean, honestly, that is the problem right now under this administration of the COVID-19 pandemic. 65-year-old and above and 15 and below can't get out because no one is really sitting at the head of a conference table with certain people and dedicating themselves to nothing else but to figure out ways and means for this population to go out. Going back to this problem of mobility, of active mobility or transport, it seems to be the same case. While it is great that you are praising each department, again, they stand as silos. May mga kanya-kanya silang guidelines, pero pag pumunta ka sa EDSA, Anong protected bike lanes ang pinag-uusapan nila at pinagsasabi nila? Eh wala eh. Just this week, monte ko nang mahagingan yung isa o dalawa on EDSA near Robinson's Pioneer. So, what are you guys going to do something about? Because I'm sorry, no, I'm not an agitator or something,
No,
but
no, no. I think you're leading us to a really good point, Cito, and thank you for that. And as advocates, but more importantly, as citizens, we try to give government time. I mean, we try to understand their situation, and we know for a fact that Chairman Abalos hasn't, I suppose, hasn't warmed up to his new role.
well, no,
So
no. I mean, in fairness to Chairman Abalos, his mother died. They're
yes,
under
exactly.
quarantine
Yep.
because they all got COVID-19 or were exposed, so they all have to
Yes.
be under quarantine. But, that again brings me to another level of frustration with the bureaucracy, not with the MMDA. Kasi parang kailangan pa ba na yung chairman, yung secretary, yung assistant secretary ang kausapin para may mangyari? I mean, there should be devolution on decision and action. So in any case, Aldrin, let's go for a quick break, a minute, and we'll be right back with you. You're back here on the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran. And with us is the, ano ba nga ba yung posisyon niya? He is the founder of the Manila Moves, an active transport advocacy group. Pinag-uusapan po namin ni Aldrin Pelicano itong mga tungkol sa bike lanes. And baka kayo po sa probinsya sabihin nyo, nako Cito, hindi uso sa amin yan. Alam niyo po, ngayon pa lang pauso niyo na yung pagbibisikleta sa mga bayan ninyo, sa mga lugar niyo. Kasi hahaba ho ang buhay niyo, wag lang kayong mahagip ng truck, tricycle o baliw, kamote rider na nakamotorsiklo. Kasi alam niyo po yung pagbibisikleta, judging from the country of my wife, Karen, who comes from the Netherlands, ang mga tao po doon, ang haba ng buhay, malulusog kahit matatanda na, kahit na nga paga 80 na, malusog pa sila. They're healthy, even beyond 80, because all their life they have been biking, whether it's through rains, through sleet or snow or heat, di ba? Parang tag-ulan, bisikleta. Tag-yelo, snow, bisikleta. Spring, tag-bulaklakan, bisikleta. At tag-araw, bisikleta. Doon po, bata pa lang, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, tinuturuan na ng iba, pinapahawak na ng maliliit, baby bike, no? But anyway, let's go to our guest, Aldrin. Aldrin, welcome back.
Yes, Cito.
Okay, regarding so napag-usapan na natin, there is 814 million pesos for Metro Manila for protected bike lanes on national roads.
Yes.
May nakita ka na bang protected bike lanes since that money was dedicated?
No, not a single kilometer. But we got hold of this update from DOTR that they have made 700 meters of pavement markings, pintura. So we're still waiting for even a kilometer of protected bike lanes.
Una't una, hindi naman nila trabaho yun. Trabaho ng DPWH yun. Yun. In any case, okay, now, let me shift, okay? So, we have still to see 1 inch of protected bike lane on a national road in Metro Manila. Next, do we now have laws protecting bike riders on the road like they have in in the Netherlands and in other countries in America na mahagip mo, masagasaan mo ang bike rider, guilty ka basta nasa bike lane yung rider.
Wala pa Sito, wala pa sa aming pagkakaalam na merong nang naipasang batas to protect cyclists and to promote cycling as transport. You know, there have been several bills filed in the previous Congresses, and now sa current Congress, we more recently, Senator Pia Cayetano's Senate bill on safe pathways have been approved at the third reading, if I'm not mistaken. So, and that Senate bill on creating safe pathways needs to be fleshed out, and also people need to read at the very least ano yung nilalaman ng bill ng ating senadora Cayetano at yung kanyang mga kasama. And this bill actually calls for establishing temporary bike lanes, emergency pathways nga ang kanyang ginamit na termino, and hopefully to establish more permanent as far as practicable. So still, while we welcome this particular Senate bill and the effort that has been put in by the good senator, we really want to see a policy coming from government that will demonstrate their commitment to prioritizing people who travel outside of motor vehicles.
I mean, you know, this is a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. This is really a joke because all you have to do is really create a barrier on the ground on existing roads. Yung San Miguel Corporation nakagawa na ng Skyway 3, gagawa na ng airport. Yung MVP Group gumawa na ng pagkahaba-habang tulay tawid sa dagat. Tayo ay ni isang pulgada ng protective bike lanes, wala pa. And then now, na-approve na natin sa public release, sa press release hearing, yung mga batas na yan. Pero sa Kongreso, wala pa tayong nakikitang protection of bicycle riders, Aldrin?
Wala pa. Wala
Okay.
pang naipasa. Yep.
Okay, wag na yung frustration ko kasi ikaw ang ini-interview eh. Parang ako naglalabas ng sama ng loob eh.
Yes.
Because you know, I support you guys. I really support you and I support bicycle riding. What is your wish list or sana mangyari na dasal as far as the situation is concerned?
Alam mo Sito, magdadasal kami. But apart from praying and wishing and hoping, we in the coalition and individually, collectively, we are exerting efforts. Magpapatuloy kami nakalampagin ang gobyerno, kausapin ang gobyerno. I mean, we respect our government obviously, but as what we've been telling them, they need to work with the people. And mas mapapadaling trabaho nila, like for example like the MMDA, sa araw-araw masakit ang ulo nila in terms of managing traffic, but you know, traffic congestion is brought about by having more cars on our roads, and that's what what we've been telling them all this time. So we will continue with our work, continue working with them with creating policies, revisiting our policies, and also encouraging more people by showing them that you can really bike in Metro Manila. Kaya, I mean, short trips, which actually comprise many of our trips, daily trips, going to the market, doing errands. You can choose not to drive a car. So yun ang aming goal.
Okay. Well, Aldrin, thank you very much for your time, and I do hope that someone somewhere in the Senate, in Congress, and in the executive matauhan naman at ma-realize hindi naman tayo gawa, gulo, hindi tayo ngawa ng ngawa. We are trying to bring development and better options for mobility in the Philippines. Have a good day. Happy
Sito,
weekend. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
sorry,
Sige.
just 1 point. I mean, I guess a good parting word would be we at the coalition and everyone else has to send this message to government, that cycling and active transport uh, will become a vote issue in next year's elections. So yun ang next step namin. We will definitely campaign for active transport to be part of the agenda of anyone interested to serve and run in next year's elections.
Hindi, ganito na lang. Walang tunay na protected bicycle lane, wala kang boto. Thank you.
Yes.
Maraming
Yes.
salamat, Aldrin.
Thank you, Sito.
Okay.
Thank you for
Okay.
having me here.
Okay, yan po si Aldrin Pelicano ng Move Manila and yun na lang po, no? Talagang diretsahan na. Kung hindi madaan sa suggestion, hindi madaan sa dasalan, hindi madaan sa pakiusapan, ayaw naman nating murahin sila, ayaw naman natin silang palabasing masama. O di ginagawa natin, dinadaan na lang natin sila sa kantsawan. Ayaw pa rin madaan sa kantsawan, wala na, sa botohan na tayo. Doon ka na sa botohan, magpaliwanag. Baga sabi ng Les po, di ba? Sa presinto ka na magpaliwanag. Dito, doon sa eleksyon ka magpaliwanag. Okay, let's move forward. Neil Garcia Laas is with us, Chief Executive Officer of Go Shopping Philippines. Let's find out ano ba itong Go Shopping na ito. Kasi, good morning, Neil.
Good morning, Cito. How are you?
I'm fine, I hope. And how about you?
Thanks for asking back. I'm fine too. And thank you for having me here on your show. And you just don't know how I'm elated to be part of your show here.
Okay, Neil, most guys like me, husband, father, we're allergic to the term go shopping.
Okay. Kasi gastos yan eh.
Hindi, usually, no, before the pandemic, kami lang yung tiga bit-bit at tiga pirma at tiga bayad. Ngayon, you name a company, Go Shopping. What on earth is this company and why should guys like me not be afraid of that company?
Well, for one thing, Go Shopping Philippines is one of a kind technology or innovation that we will be presenting to the Philippine consumers. It has been inevitably a concern of any consumer that the current platforms that we do have here, Cito, has some big problems that had never been addressed. For example, you're ordering fake items. I mean, of course, you do not want to order fake items, but the point is, you're choosing some items in a platform, and then suddenly when you received it, fake pala or hindi yun yung in order mo. And it has been going on since over a decade, and nobody is actually doing something for about that. So here comes Go Shopping, who will ensure that consumers, the daddies, the mommies, the kids, that what exactly they are ordering in the platform will be the same thing that they will be receiving in a package.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, why do you think people will shop? Not just to shop for items that they have not ordered, but basically to receive the items that they have intentionally placed an order. So yun ang pinagtataka ko kasi a lot of complaints had been lodged to different platforms, and it seems that nobody is paying attention to that, Cito. And it's time. It's time for local company like me to offer a variation, offer a best option for online shoppers, that this time around we will ensure the public and the merchants, so to speak, that what we will be presenting to Go Shopping Philippines are the brand concepts that you can see in the mall, and that we will have a strict compliance to the cybersecurity law and the privacy, and at the same time for consumers' rights and protection.
Okay, Neil, I'm just wondering because you are essentially an order facility, right?
Right.
People order through you via an app online, just like Shopee and Lazada. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now Shopee and Lazada, from my impression, and I will not say to the world that this is a 100% research and confirmed, but from my impression, Shopee and Lazada is backed by big business or has got lots of money. Now, you
True.
mentioned you are a Filipino company. Do you have the financial status to compete with the likes of Shopee and Lazada? Do you have a system of guarantee where if anyone complains against your suppliers and your organization, that it can be addressed meaningfully? Kasi alam mo, pag sinabing local at ano na local but global in perspective or service, medyo sinasabi baka kapusin yan.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a very valid questions from you, Cito, and I think a same question has been raised by a lot of consumers. But let me attack the issue one by one.
Mm.
For in terms of competition, is Go Shopping geared towards competing directly with Lazada and Shopee? The answer is no. You are correct in a note that Lazada and Shopee are well financed by an international group of companies, perhaps, or people who have deep financial pockets. But Go
Mm.
Shopping has not reached that senate of financial stability yet. Our platform is built on a very strong, solid foundations in terms of its technological advancement. I
Mhm.
personally had invested not so much, but a lot in my own little capacity to the technology behind Go Shopping Philippines. We have the capacity to accommodate more than 1,000 merchants. And by that means that financially, I am not that rich. Therefore, I am asking merchants partnership for this. It means that we are not a free e-commerce platform. We are charging for a monthly subscription fee
Mhm,
in return
mhm,
of a service that we will be providing to each merchant.
mhm.
So, how do we how do we go about this? So simple. It has been well studied, Cito, and we will not be foolish enough to launch something in the market without further studies on it. So
Mm.
we are prepared for this. We
Okay.
had been, um, we had been so carefully studying the e-commerce platform in the past 10 years, and so to speak, that based on my personal experiences, and I think it's relatable to a lot of consumers, that there is really a problem in the system right now, and there should be somebody to trigger the change. I am I am not going to be lying to everybody. I am not rich, but that's not why. That's not the reason why Go Shopping should exist.
Okay. Neil, allow me to just take a quick break here. We'll be right back because we just need the station ID here. We'll be right
No
back.
problem.
Okay, you're back here on Agenda. With us is Neil Garcia, Laas Chief Executive President and founder of Go Shopping Philippines. Now, Neil, just let me read this, okay? The benefits of being part of Go Shopping Philippines. Brand concepts only. No resellers or distributors will be allowed to use the platform. Go Shopping Philippines will manage the inventories of merchants and tenants and will be in charge of selling and shipping to customers. This will ensure that the items being sold are available and are genuine. Merchants and tenants will receive monthly inventory and sales reports. It's a one-stop shop. It will offer fashion to cyberzone, to specialty stores, to services. It will also house government institutions like DFA, SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, NBI, etc. Now, when you go back to the first point, you're going to take the inventory of your registered merchants, then you are going to take in the orders of your clients or customers, and then you will be the one to ship to those clients and customers. Won't that create an added delay and an added cost instead of just going, push the button, oy Neil, may order ng sapatos, si ganito, padala mo. Parang you're taking on burden and cost just to be sure that the products are genuine.
Well, I look into the issue or the matter in a different perspective, Cito. Let's digest the current system. The current system is like this: you place an order, and this platform throws back the order to the merchant,
Hmm.
and the merchant will be the one to send the order and ship it, depending on the couriers that they will be partnering with. And so there's a big gap in the experience that normally consumers would have to go back to the platform and ask, what's the status of my order? How come my orders are different from what I have placed in your platform? How come nobody is paying attention to my concern? How come nobody can tell me where is my parcel right now? Those are the key things that I have instituted in Go Shopping that makes it different. It's more of a service, Cito. Um, Go Shopping Philippines is very friendly to the entrepreneurs. And here's how I digest this. Normally, if you want to expand your business, you will be probably be putting your items in different platforms, but you will be the one to expand your manpower to be able to service the new platform that you are part with. So katulad ko, Bako to Basic was my previous company or my first company, and I will, I have the plan to be visible in two different platforms as what you mentioned. But at the end of the day, it's still gonna be me who will be looking for my um, staff to process and to ensure that the order placed in the different platform will be properly attended. But guess what? I am running my own company, and I'm also taking my series of orders in my own website and mobile app or in my Facebook. There are times that the communications between the platforms and towards me have delayed, and that causes negative reactions from the consumers. And this is where I came in. I wanted to provide 100% customer satisfaction. By what?
Okay.
By getting the items from a merchant
Hmm.
and scrutinize whether the merchandises that they do have are of the standard. Example, if you are selling Vivo, if you're selling iPhone,
Hmm.
is your iPhone coming from the Apple Store itself? The question should be answered.
Mhm.
Yes. Is the store the authorized distributor of Apple in the country? If yes, then we would know that because they have documents to show. In this regards, I can be so certain that the customer who plays an Apple iPhone is secure that what we are sending to them is technically the real one.
Okay.
not
Well, okay.
so therefore, Cito, once you place an order, we will be the one to pack it so that we will have a uniform packing and ensuring that the items
Well,
are properly
clearly,
secured.
yeah, clearly, Neil, what you're gunning for is authenticity, making sure that the products are authentic, and
Right.
obviously handling and branding. Now, last
That's it.
question, Neil. One question, last question, Neil. Where are you now? Because I mean, it takes a while to build up this kind of a platform or this kind of having the inventory, the warehouses, etc., getting the merchants. Where are you? Are you still at the startup level, or where are you?
We work according to phases, Tito, and this is not just a overnight infrastructure building, but we work according to phases. We are now about to complete the phase one, which tackles all the basics of an e-commerce platform. Ordering, placing an order, payment gateway, out to the delivery and all. And we will work according to phases. And April 15, 2021 is our launching date. We will go live on air on April 15, and we will be completely 100% finished by that time. But the further development, like pay-per-view, a movies on demand feature, complete e-services or home services will be totally completed at the end of the last quarter of 2021. So we will excite or surprise the consumers for more developments that will happen in Go Shopping Philippines. And let me say this to everybody who are watching right now. Go Shopping Philippines is for Filipinos. This is not backed up by any international financial groups. This is purely Pinoy company. Why?
Okay.
Because time for Filipinos to own our e-commerce platform. It's
Okay.
boosting our Philippine economy.
Okay. Thank you very much, Neil, and we wish you the best. That's
Thank you for
Okay, that's Neil Gas, no, Neil Garcia Laas, Chief Executive Officer, President, Founder of Go Shopping Philippines. Medyo, I mean, I admire his vision. I admire his patriotism, at saka yung lakas ng loob niya, because maganda nga naman kung magkakaroon ng Filipino online shopping platform that is truly Filipino. Maganda po yun. Ang biggest challenge, I suppose, is that Filipinos, sabi nga nila, nako, the Filipinos can be a very cruel and demanding crowd or customer. Natatandaan ko po noon na may kaibigan akong, di ko na babanggitin, sikat siyang international singer, at pag pumunta raw sila sa kung saang ibang bansa, wow na wow. People are just, foreigners are always awed by Filipino singers and performers. But the minute they go into an all-Filipino crowd, you can almost sense that the levels of expectations are always raised. There will always be critics, etc., etc. So I just hope that Go Shopping Philippines will manage to break through and will manage to set a local standard that is respected and supported. In any case, our time is 8:58. We're just about ready to close the program. I just want to thank all of you who joined us, who watched the program. Meron nga pala pong nag-comment kahapon, one of our viewers, he was saying that, the reason the government is not releasing all the or approving this subsidy na sinasabi kahapon ni JC Punong Bayan, what we were asking ourselves or each other, why is it that the government seems to be hesitant or refuses to give subsidies directly to its citizen? May nag-comment, sabi, hindi naman sa ayaw, pero baka iniipon nila para pagdating sa campaign period next year. Okay, kung may next year pa po. Sabi ko nga kanina, pagka ganyang pinatagal-tagal ang dating ng tulong, pangako, yun po, no? Ako, I have to be honest. Don't ever promise me anything whatever it is, big or small, please don't promise me anything, because I believe promises. I embrace promises, and I will hold you to your promise. And tayo pong mga Pilipino, we need to start holding our politicians, our government officials, our leaders, even in the business, even in the home. We need to hold people to their promises, whether it is a promise to love and obey, to be through sickness and death, a promise to be faithful, or a promise to serve. We need to hold everyone to their promise, but most especially ourselves. May God bless you. May God teach you, guide you, strengthen you, and prosper you, especially in the coming week. Thank you for watching Agenda.